Vampire. For centuries they haunted our nightmares. Legends speak of creatures that walk the earth in eternal darkness, beings neither truly alive nor dead, sustained only by the blood of the living. Some say they are nothing more than superstition, woven into folklore to explain the unexplainable. Others believe the truth is far more sinister. Yet for others, the promise of immortality is irresistibly seductive. For you see, many folk tales suggest that ways to become a vampire exist. Some you are already familiar with, but there are others hidden in ancient rituals and forbidden knowledge. In this video, we will uncover unsettling secrets of vampiric transformation. From blood rituals to unholy bargains, history is filled with tales of those who cross the threshold into darkness. Join us as we search for the truth behind how to become a vampire. We are listing 10 ways from legends and folklores throughout the world. First, the vampire bite. Let's get this one out of the way. A bite from a vampire is, without a doubt, the most famous way of becoming a vampire. Sure, there are variations, ranging from mere bites to drinking the blood of your sire, the vampire who bit you. In the TV show True Blood, your sire has to be buried with you in a dirt hole until you rise as a vampire. But the bite with sharp fangs, whether preceded by seduction or violent attack, is the main ingredient. And we have seen this in movies and books. From Bram Stoker's Dracula to Anne Rice's Lestat, a vampire's bite is more than just a wound. It is your entry into a world where the living and undead collide. Next, a vampire's progeny. Another way for you to become a vampire is if you were somehow born part vampire. This legend, often called Dampiers, is very popular in Eastern Europe, where a male vampire would consort with a human female and a half-breed child would later be born. Modern storytelling has expanded this eerie concept. In Marvel Comics, for example, the character Blade is born as a half-vampire, a result of his pregnant mother's fateful encounter with a vampire. In the TV series The Strain, a newly pregnant woman is bitten by the Master. She escapes and later gives birth to Quinlan, a Dampier. Interestingly, neither Blade's nor Quinlan's mothers followed the traditional path of consorting with vampires, yet both children were born as half-breeds. Now, before we go on, these first 2 ways have been popular and widely accepted when it comes to vampire lore, but the following methods, however, are less so. Some of them will probably be new to you. Let us continue. Number 3, cursed by a witch. In certain parts of Eastern Europe, especially in Romania, it is believed that witches have the power to condemn individuals to a vampiric existence. They are called strigoi in this part of the world, and they lust for their victims' blood. According to folklore, witches may cast this curse on the living, ensuring that after death the body will refuse to rest, clawing its way from the grave in search of sustenance. Some say the transformation happens immediately upon burial, while others claim it takes days or even weeks before the cursed individual rises as a strigoi. The fear of such supernatural vengeance led many communities to adopt protective burial rites, such as driving nails through the corpse's forehead or placing iron stakes over the grave to prevent the strigoi from escaping. Number 4, a Faustian bargain. In Eastern and Central Europe, legends say that there are individuals who willingly trade their humanity for eternal life by forging pacts with dark entities. Rather than being victims of a tragic curse, as previously mentioned, these individuals actively seek out forbidden knowledge and immense power, consciously embracing the vampiric transformation. Their stories, woven into the region's occult lore, present vampirism as a dark transaction, a Faustian bargain where eternal life is gained at the cost of one's soul, and the price is a ceaseless, bloodthirsty existence. In Dungeons and Dragons, this type of bargain was struck by Strahd von Zarovich to become the all-powerful villain in the Curse of Strahd campaign. Number 5, self-inflicted departures. In parts of West Africa, particularly among Akan and Ashanti communities, the legend of the Obaifo stands as a chilling testament to the power of a restless, transgressing soul. In these tales, an individual whose life ended in unfathomable sorrow, despair, or improper rites whether through a self-inflicted departure or a tragic circumstance, is not granted the peace of the afterlife. Instead, their unsettled spirit is condemned to roam as an obaifo, a vampiric undead creature that preys upon the life force of the living. These eerie entities are attributed not only to the sorrow of a life ending in turmoil, but also to the belief that disrupting the natural order of death invites a vengeful return from beyond. Number 6. Birth with ominous signs. In some Eastern European legends, a child born with an unusual trait like extra teeth is considered predisposed to vampirism right from birth. In Romania, for example, a baby born with a caul, a thin membrane covering the head, is seen as touched by the supernatural. Local lore holds that such a child may be fated for a dark future, with these signs suggesting a predisposition to becoming a vampire, or as it is known in the region, a strigoi. Even odd birthmarks were taken by village elders as hints that the child might be destined for a life linked to the mysterious realm beyond our own. Number 7. Circumstances of birth. In many Eastern European traditions, the moment of birth is believed to shape a child's future in extraordinary ways. For instance, some folk tales claim that babies born between Christmas and Epiphany are touched by a unique eerie energy that predisposes them to darker destinies, sometimes even marking them as potential vampires or strigoi. The timing of their arrival during the year is seen as an ill omen, a sign that the natural order has been briefly upended. Similarly, traditional lore emphasizes the role of maternal conditions during pregnancy. In several communities, it was believed that if a mother did not consume enough salt, an essential element thought to ward off malevolent spirits, the protective barrier between the natural and supernatural realms could be weakened. This lapse was thought to leave the newborn vulnerable, possibly setting the stage for a life intertwined with the uncanny, or even an eventual transformation into a creature of the night. Number 8. A cat's leap. One quirky piece of vampire lore comes from an old wives' tale about a cat's leap. In parts of Eastern Europe, and even in some Greek traditions, the story goes that if a cat jumps over a corpse before burial, that dead person might come back as a vampire. Imagine that. In some regions, folks believed it had to be a specific kind of leap, or even that only a certain type of cat, often a black one, could trigger this eerie phenomenon. In other areas, the details vary, such as the timing of the jump or even the direction. I have a cat. Should I be worried? Number 9. An improper burial. In Eastern European folklore, the way a person is buried can determine whether they stay peacefully in the grave or rise again as a vampire. People once believed that even small mistakes in burial practices could lead to the dead returning as bloodthirsty revenants. For example, in parts of Poland and Romania, it was thought that a corpse buried with its legs unbound might be able to walk again, making it easier for the undead to escape the grave. Another eerie belief was that if the deceased chewed on their burial shroud, it was a sign they would soon rise as a vampire. To prevent this, some communities placed stones or bricks in the mouths of the dead, ensuring they could not gnaw their way into undeath. Number 10. Unnatural or violent death. Across cultures, there is a lingering fear that those who die violently or unnaturally might not stay dead. In Eastern European folklore, this belief is deeply tied to the legend of the strigoi, undead beings that rise from the grave, often fueled by unfinished business or a tragic end. Similar fears existed in Viking-era Scandinavia, where the draugr, undead beings tied to violent deaths, were said to rise from their graves to terrorize the living. These creatures were not ghosts. They were physical, bloodthirsty revenants, often linked to warriors who died in battle but were denied a proper send-off. Thank you for watching. If you know of any more ways to become a vampire, leave it in the comments. We will see you next time.